Hello, everybody, and welcome to World of Tanks. Welcome back to Gladys Chess. I'm SpiralTarantula flying solo for this small series I've put together, all about crew skills and crew training for your tanks in World of Tanks. Now, there are some YouTubers, Quickie Baby and the Mighty Jingles are two great examples of doing crew skills for the PC version. However, there are a lot of things that are different on the console version, and I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about that. So, as you can see, I have about 52 tanks in my garage, so I've played this quite a bit. So we're going to start out. So let's say you buy a brand new tank and you want to put a fresh crew in. So we're just going to use my Super Persian as an example. So if you get a brand new crew, recruit a crew, you can either do rapid courses, 50% for free. You can do 75% for silver or for gold. I wouldn't recommend using gold to train your crew, because to master your crew, because you can use premium tanks for that, but I'll get into that in a minute. Once a crew gets to 100% trained, as you can see here on the Matilda, under his name on the far right of the screen, there is the green bar for medium tank, and then below that is his training towards camouflage. That top green bar has to be all the way full for you to be able to learn skills or perks. So you can transfer your crew into different tanks of the same nation. So let's say I want to take my Matilda and put him in the TOG. So there are my British crew. There's the Matilda. Boom. Now he's in the TOG. I'll put him back in the Matilda. There he is in the TOG. Now he's in the Matilda. Easy. It's way easier on the console than on the PC, because on the PC version you had to do this for each individual crew member. But on the console versions of Xbox and PS4, you can transfer them all as a team. So commander, driver, gunner, loader, and radio operator all go together. They're never separated, so they're all just one single entity, which is a lot nicer than on the PC version. So let's talk about the difference between skills and perks really quickly. So we'll use the Matilda as an example again. Okay, so let's take a look here at the unowned skills and perks. The white compass, those are skills, and the yellow lightning bolts, those are perks. Now the difference between these two is skills will train up to 100%, but you will get benefit while they're being trained. So my Matilda is learning camouflage, and they are 40% until camouflage is mastered. However, since camouflage is a skill, they are getting benefit every time they go up a percent. So they're becoming more stealthy every percent they gain. That is different than, let's say, Brothers in Arms. Now that's a perk. So Brothers in Arms is not effective in any vehicle in the game unless it gets to 100%. So you could have it at 99% on your tank and it won't do anything for you. So keep that in mind. Now you'll notice on my best tank, or my most trained crew in the game, on my Tiger, they have got a shitload of skills and perks, which in reality is about, on the PC version, they would call this a 4-skill crew or 5-skill crew, which is pretty much the same. Instead of on the PC version, where you have to train each individual crew member, you train them as a team. So it's a little bit faster on the console, because you train them one at a time instead of training 4 or 5 at a time. So that's nice too. I prefer that than the PC version. I don't really play the PC version. So let's talk about retraining crews or perks or skills. So let's say in my Tiger, I decide I don't want pain tolerance anymore. I want something else. So if I click on pain tolerance, now my skills and perks are popping up, and there is a price down at the bottom right for gold. So if you have a mastered skill or perk, you can swap it out for gold if you choose a different one, if you want something different. So let's say I am tired of artillery tracking me every game in my Tiger, so I don't want pain tolerance and I want track mechanics. So I would swap pain tolerance with track mechanic for 10 gold, yes or no. And it will instantly retrain them for 200% on that specific skill or perk. Keep in mind that doesn't work unless they are at 100%. Okay, so crews and regular and elite tanks are different than on premium tanks. So this is really important. A lot of people don't understand this. So let's say, like, your Matilda crew, you want to retrain them. if you stick them in the TOG, which is a premium tank, it's completely free. You don't have to retrain them. It's the exact same thing, and you can put them back. But if I would want to, for some unknown reason, I want to put my crew, I want to put them in the Cromwell. It costs money, and they lose efficiency because that is not a premium tank of the same nation. So keep that in mind when you're retraining your crew. Otherwise, it will get a little bit harder, and the grind is a little bit more frustrating without using premium tanks. That's why I recommend you use premium tanks instead of just spending gold to train or to master your crews. So one last thing I want to cover, or two things actually. Don't bother taking your crews from low tier tanks, and like, for example, if it'll load. Come on, Tech Tree. Okay, there we go. Like you get your very first crew in your T1 Cunningham, and it's really quick to get to tier 2 and get to tier 3. And you're spending silver because you want to take your T1 crew and you want to put them in this, and you put them in the T56, and you put them in the T40. You won't be spending enough time in these low tier tanks to get skills and perks, so I wouldn't recommend bothering with your crew until you get to around tier 5 or tier 6. That's when the grind starts to set in, and it costs more XP to retrain your crew, and it costs more XP to research the next tank. That's just my opinion, what I do. You don't have to do what I do, but that's just what I think is easier. And then the last thing I want to cover is it's called overclocking your crew. And I only have one guy in my garage I'm overclocking right now. My Chinese medium tank crew. These guys were in the, they were in the T34-1, and I didn't buy the T34-2 because I don't want to. I don't like it. So I've kept them to get the WZ-120, the Tier 9 medium tank. So what I've done is they are ready to learn a new skill or perk because of that little cross. They've got to 100% on Brothers in Arms, I think. And now I'm ready to retrain them on a new skill or perk. So I can choose a new skill if I want. But I'm not going to do that because if you keep playing games and you keep battling with that crew and you don't train on a new skill or perk, you are what's called overclocking your crew. So when you take them into a new tank, while they're being overclocked, you won't have to remaster them in the new tank. They will already be mastered when you select the new skill or perk. But I wouldn't recommend doing that unless your crew is close to learning a new skill or perk. But again, you can do whatever you want. It's completely up to you. And then there is something new that they just added a couple patches ago where you have your crew rankings. So up on the top right of the screen, my KV2 guy is rank 5 of 17 in his crew. So he's a sergeant. Doesn't do anything. They aren't better, they aren't worse. It's just a little cosmetic rank they get, and there are some trophies and achievements you can get from your ranking. I don't think the PlayStation version has the crew ranking yet, but they might be getting it pretty soon. It's pretty easy. I'm sure it's easy for them to add it in. Yeah, I think that's all I've got. This is just basic crew training, basic crew skills. I'll do some other videos on each tank class about how I train and train my crews. So make sure you guys check out Quickie Baby and the Mighty Jingles. I watch a lot of their stuff, and that's kind of how I've trained my crew, is based on what they do. However, this is kind of my own flavor because it's console and they only play the PC version. So keep that in mind when you're watching my videos and theirs. Alrighty, well, thanks so much for watching Gladys Chest, and I will catch you guys on the next one.